Before we get on with the podcast, I'd like to mention that I now have 3 books for sale on Kindle. Recommended Reading for the True Conservative, Bad Democrat, and now Evil Liberal. All available for $3.99 or through Kindle Unlimited. Now, on with the podcast.
As I was picking up a rental car, the car rental agent helping me was transgender. Now, I haven't been around many transgender people, but I do know the right thing to say when you're around one. You say they. That's the play thing. So I walked in, they put my name in the computer and go, I have wonderful news for you. You're going to get upgraded from a compact car to a full-size car at no charge. And I was like, thank you very much, they. They go, no problem. I always take care of one of my own. They thought this was that. So I said, I can't take this upgrade. I don't deserve it. I'm not a transgender person like you. I'm not one of your own. And they go, no, what I was referring to by one of my own is that you're an Enterprise Plus member. And they go, wait, you think I'm transgender? So we decided I should rent from Avis.
Good morning. It's Thursday, Psycho Thursday, June the 25th, and this is The True Conservative. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host, and the only true conservative in the United States today. So today, after the Serenity Prayer and the patriotic song of the day, we will have Varney and Company, meditation, motivation, and psychopathy. All that and more when I get back. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I should not change, the courage to change the things I should, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you. Now, Varney and Company.
Varney and Company picks it up now. Stu, take it away.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. There's a lot going on. Huge rally for tech stocks. The price of oil down. Tankers moving through the strait. Mamdani trying to take over the Democrat Party. All good stuff. We're starting with inflation. A half hour ago, we received the Producer Price Index. That's a measure of cost to business. The Fed watches this. In May, the PPE, as it's called, it went up 0.4%. And in the last year, it's up 4.1%. That suggests inflation is warming only ever so slightly. And it has not interrupted the market rally. Will you look at this? Dow up about 130, the S&P up about 60, the NASDAQ, that's taken off, up 700 points. That would be, I'm squinting now, that is about 2.3%. There you go. A huge gain for Micron. Will you look at this? A blowout earnings report eased fears about the sustainability of the AI boom. The stock is up 18% right now at $1,200 a share. As for oil, well, it's below $70 a barrel. 70 vessels went through the Strait Wednesday, 8 more so far today. Big deal. The price of gas is only down a fraction to $3.91. The president's not satisfied. He says the price should be down to $2.25. He says the oil companies are not dropping prices fast enough. California, you're still paying around $5.50 a gallon. Diesel, though, that is down below $5, $4.95. Bitcoin, no joy there, 61,000 and change, 61.1. On the show today, President Trump lays down the law to Republican senators. He had a shouting match with 4 senators who'd voted against him on the war. Later, the vote was reversed. Trump is in firm control of the GOP. Zoran Mandani wants that kind of influence on the Democrats. He says socialism should be the face of the Democrat Party. Earthquakes in Venezuela. First, a 7.2 magnitude. 30 seconds later, a 7.5 rattled Caracas. There was also a 5.6 magnitude quake in Northern California and a 7.2 in Japan. A new Fox poll shows a decline in our pride in America. Perhaps the World Cup will help turn that around, maybe. The millions of foreign fans who have come here seem to like our country. We've been taught to think of ourselves as racist bigots living in a dictatorship. Foreigners coming here for the World Cup do not see it that way. They like us. Maybe we should feel better about ourselves. Team USA plays Turkey A, looking for a 3rd straight win. Kickoff 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. Thursday, June 25th, 2026.
And that's Varney and Company, non-profit news now. Back in a minute. Thank you. And that terrifies the bad Democrat because control for them relies on unfiltered access. It's not enough for them to be part of your life. They need to be the center of it. They need to know that they can reach you whenever they want, disrupt your peace whenever they feel insecure, and pull you back into their orbit whenever they feel you drifting away. So when a true conservative begins to develop and assert boundaries, it's not a minor inconvenience for the bad Democrat. It's a full-blown existential crisis. It signals the end of control. But here's the thing. Conservatives don't start with boundaries. Most of them, especially those who end up entangled with bad Democrats, begin with wide-open doors. They're agreeable, conscientious, and conflict avoidant. They don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. They've often been conditioned from childhood to prioritize other people's comfort over their own. Maybe they had a parent who was emotionally volatile and they learned that peace came from compliance. Or maybe they were praised for being the good one, the one who never caused trouble. So, when they're into adult relationships, especially with manipulative personalities, that pattern continues. And it works for a while until it doesn't. Because eventually the conservative hits a wall. They realize they're exhausted, emotionally drained, walking on eggshells, and slowly losing touch with who they are. They start to notice that their needs are consistently ignored and their feelings are minimized, that they're in a relationship where they're always giving and rarely receiving. And then something clicks. Sometimes it happens quietly over time, sometimes it happens in one defining moment. But either way, they begin to understand that compassion without boundaries isn't caring, it's self-erasure. So they start saying no, not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. They start with small things. Maybe they don't respond to that guilt-tripping message right away. Maybe they decline the invitation that used to come with strings attached. Maybe they ask for space when they're overwhelmed. Each time they do, they feel a strange mix of guilt and liberation because they've been taught that saying no makes them selfish. But deep down, they start to recognize something even more powerful, that every boundary is an affirmation of their humanity. It says, I matter too. And this is where the bad Democrat starts to panic, because every no from the conservative is experienced as a loss of control. It's a refusal to play by the unspoken rules of the bad Democrat dynamic. Bad Democrats don't handle rejection well, even the subtle kind. They see it as defiance, as betrayal. They may escalate their tactics. They may become more demanding, more manipulative, or they may shift into victim mode, painting themselves as the wounded party, trying to guilt the conservative back into submission. But what they don't understand is that the conservative has begun to change on a fundamental level. They're no longer playing to win approval. They're no longer afraid of disappointing someone who's never truly been pleased with them anyway. They're no longer afraid of disappointing someone who is never truly pleased with them anyway. And here's where it gets really interesting. Boundaries don't just protect the conservative, they expose the bad Democrat. Because once you stop over-functioning, once you stop managing the bad Democrats' emotions for them, their behavior becomes obvious. Their entitlement becomes transparent. Their inability to handle basic emotional limits starts to reveal just how distorted the dynamic really was. You see it clearly once you stopped participating in it, and it's jarring. You start to realize that as long as you reflected back the image they needed to see, everything was fine. But the moment you asserted your own image, your own needs, your own voice, the relationship started to unravel. And this is the paradox of boundaries. They feel hard at first. They feel cruel even, especially for someone who spent their life equating caring with self-abandonment. But over time, boundaries become acts of deep kindness, both to yourself and to others, because they clarify what's yours to carry and what isn't. They create space for honesty, and most importantly, they protect your capacity to care without being consumed. The bad Democrat will almost always create boundaries as hostility, because for them, the bad Democrat will almost always see conservative boundaries as hostility, because for them, caring means possession. It means control. And when you take that control away, not by fighting, not by yelling, but by calmly stepping back, they don't know what to do with that. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, this.
These are the 5 things that happen the moment you enter heaven. And number 1 changes everything you thought you knew about eternity.
The first 5 things that happen the moment you get to heaven will shock you. And the last one changes everything. Number 5, all pain disappears instantly. No fear, no sickness, no tears. Number 4, you recognize people immediately. Family members, prophets, apostles, people you never thought you'd meet. Number 3, angels are everywhere, not the soft images people imagine. Terrifyingly powerful beings worshiping God nonstop. Number 2, your life plays before you, not as punishment is revealed. Every hidden kindness, every silent prayer, every moment of faith, finally seen. And then comes the moment every soul waits for. Number 1, you see the glory of God, the creator of everything, standing before you in unimaginable holiness. And beside his throne is Jesus, the King who died to bring you there. And suddenly, nothing from earth matters anymore. If you...
Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, motivation.
There's a lot said in our self-help culture about starting things. You have a business that you want to start? Yeah, you should absolutely go and start that. You have a project that you've been thinking about for a while? Go start. There's this whole idea that if you can just get yourself to start, starting is the hardest thing. You've got to get into it. Go for it. Do it. Stop talking about it. Start. The problem is, if people are bad at starting, they're even worse at finishing things. They take all of this enjoyment from starting, forgetting that there is untold enjoyment in finishing. The satisfaction of getting something done, of feeling like you have a completed project, of getting to the end of it and being able to put that stamp that says, I'm done, I finished, I don't need to look at this again, it's done. There is so much enjoyment that we can take from that we do not get when we half-heartedly move from one project to the next. As soon as one gets difficult or lacks interest, we move on to the next one.
Are you interested in achieving these goals, or are you committed? If you're interested, you'll do what's convenient. You'll come up with stories and excuses and reasons why you can't. But if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes. You'll let go of your stories. You'll let go of your excuses. You'll let go of all the reasons you currently have that are formulating your identity of yourself. And you'll learn how to let that go and become who you are destined to become.
You trying to get to the next level, you just interested. You kidding yourself. Forget about it. If you want to get to the next level, if you want to eat it, if you want to live it, if you want to be it, if you want to do it, stop talking about it and give me full commitment.
You can be the person who says, this is going to f***ing work no matter what happens, no matter how frustrated I get, no matter how angry I get, no matter what, I'm f***ing doing this.
If you're committed, you'll start today to let go of your stories, your excuses, your reasons why you can't and why you won't. You'll upgrade your knowledge. You'll upgrade your skills. You'll come in every single day and figure out how you can achieve those goals.
It's about executing regardless of your emotions. These test days, they test your fortitude, your endurance, your discipline, your grit, your dedication, your determination, your mental toughness. At the very moment when everything in you wants to do absolutely nothing, you gotta get the job done. Stop having dialogue with your emotions. Stop negotiating with your feelings and start to act. That's where people separate themselves from the pack. That's where people earn the right to success. They earn the money. They earn the life. They earn the relationship. They earn the body in those little moments where they don't want to do what they need to do, but move forward regardless of how they feel. That's what champions know, champions understand, and champions fucking thrive on.
And that was motivating. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, a little bit of meditation. And that was a little bit of meditation. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, psychopathy.
Your life is not slipping away because you lack talent. It is slipping away because you keep donating your hours to distractions that give you nothing back. Understand this clearly. Time is the first throne of power. Before a man controls people, money, respect, or influence, he must control his own day. If your morning belongs to your phone, your mind already has a master. If your nights belong to excuses, your future already has a thief. Machiavelli would tell you this without softness. The world does not reward the available man, it uses him. The man who answers every call, joins every argument, reacts to every insult, and wastes every quiet hour becomes easy to predict, easy to drain, and easy to command. But the man who protects his time becomes mysterious. He becomes expensive. He becomes difficult to reach, harder to distract, and impossible to control. That is where power begins. Not in noise, not in showing off, in schedule, in discipline, in saying no without guilt, in leaving people confused while you are building in silence. Comment this phrase: "My time is my throne." Say it because you must remember it. Every hour you waste is a piece of your kingdom handed to your enemy. Every hour you master becomes a weapon. Stop telling yourself you are tired when you are only undisciplined. Stop saying you are unlucky when you are unfocused. Build your day like a fortress. Guard your attention like gold. Let others chase entertainment while you sharpen your mind, body, money, and purpose. Then, when they finally notice you changed, do not explain the process. Let your results speak like a crown. Master your time first, and you will become the kind of man people cannot ignore. Number 2, master your tongue. Your tongue is either your sword or your weakness. Most men lose power not because they are stupid, but because they speak too soon, too much, and to the wrong people. They explain their plans before they are strong enough to protect them. They reveal their pain to people who secretly enjoy it. They defend themselves in front of those who already decided to misunderstand them. Listen carefully. Every unnecessary word gives the world a handle to control you. Machiavelli knew that silence is not emptiness. Silence is strategy. When you speak less, people begin to wonder more. When you stop announcing your moves, your enemies lose their map. When you stop begging to be understood, your value rises because you are no longer performing for approval. A dangerous man does not use words to feel important. He uses words like a blade, clean, controlled, necessary. If anger makes you talk, you are not powerful yet. If loneliness makes you confess, you are not disciplined yet. If pride makes you reveal your next move, you are still easy to defeat. From today, control your mouth like you control a loaded weapon. Do not tell everyone what hurt you. Do not tell everyone what you are building. Do not tell everyone who you love, what you fear, how much you earn, or where you are going next. Keep your inner world protected. Let them see the result, not the recipe. Comment this phrase: "My silence is my strategy." Say it until it becomes your nature, because the more you talk, the more you reduce your mystery. And mystery is power. People cannot attack what they cannot fully read. They cannot sabotage what they do not know. They cannot use words against you if you never handed them the weapon. Speak when your words create advantage. Stay quiet when your silence creates fear. Learn to pause before replying. Learn to smile when insulted. Learn to let fools expose themselves while you remain calm. This is cold power psychology. The loud man tries to prove he is dangerous. The silent man makes others feel it. Master your tongue, and you will stop bleeding power through careless words. Number 3, master your temper. Your temper is the door your enemies pray you leave unlocked. The moment they can make you angry, they can make you predictable. The moment they can make you react, they can lead you. Understand this deeply. anger is not always strength. Most of the time, anger is information leaking from an undisciplined mind. A weak man explodes because he wants the room to feel his pain. A powerful man stays calm because he wants the room to fear his control. Machiavelli would never advise you to show every emotion just because it is real. He would tell you to use emotion, not become its servant. When someone insults you, study them. When someone betrays you, remember them. When someone tries to provoke you, do not give them the reward of your reaction. Give them your silence. Give them your distance. Give them the cold realization that they no longer have access to the version of you they could disturb. This is how you become dangerous without becoming loud. Your temper must become a locked chamber, not because you feel nothing, but because you choose when, where, and how your energy is released. Comment this phrase, "My calm is my command." Say it because calmness is not weakness. Calmness is domination over yourself, and the man who dominates himself becomes difficult for others to dominate. Stop letting disrespect pull you into foolish battles. Stop allowing small people to drag you into small behavior. Stop proving your power by raising your voice. Real power is making someone nervous while you are still speaking softly. Real power is walking away when your ego wants revenge. Real power is delaying your response until your mind is clear and your move is precise. Dark psychology understands this truth. People test your temper to measure your weakness. They poke you to see where you bleed. They mock you to see if you need approval. They disrespect you to see if your identity can be shaken. Do not give them evidence. Smile, observe, withdraw, improve. Then rise so far above them that your success becomes the answer they never wanted to hear. Master your temper, and you will no longer be controlled by insults, pressure, rejection, or betrayal. You will become cold, centered, and untouchable. Number 4, master your trust. Trust is not a gift you hand out because someone smiles at you. Trust is a privilege earned through time, pressure, silence, and proof. Most men get destroyed because they confuse closeness with loyalty. They believe people are honest because they speak softly. They believe people are safe because they share laughter, memories, or pain. But Machiavelli would warn you, people do not reveal their true nature when life is easy. They reveal it when power, money, jealousy, or opportunity appears. That is why you must master your trust, not by becoming paranoid, but by becoming awake. A weak man trusts quickly because he is hungry for connection. A disciplined man watches patterns. He listens to what people praise, what they envy, what they hide, and how they treat those who can do nothing for them. He does not hate people. He studies them. He does not open his life to every friendly face. He allows people to qualify themselves slowly. Understand this. The person who laughs with you today may compete with you tomorrow. The person who asks about your dream may secretly hope it fails. The person who calls you brother may only love the version of you that stays beneath him. That is not bitterness. That is awareness. Comment this phrase, "My trust is earned, not given." Say it because your peace depends on it. Stop telling everyone your weakness. Stop giving access to people who have not proven loyalty under pressure. Stop confusing attention with love, compliments with respect, and history with loyalty. Some people have known you for years and still do not deserve the keys to your mind. Trust must be layered. Give people small access before you give them deep access. Give them information that cannot harm you before you give them secrets that can. Watch what they do when they are disappointed. Watch what they say when you win. Watch whether they protect your name when you are not in the room. Dark psychology teaches that betrayal usually enters through an open door you called friendship. So close the door until character knocks with evidence. Be kind, but not exposed. Be respectful, but not readable. Be generous, but not foolish. Let your circle shrink until only loyalty remains. The fewer people who know your plans, the fewer hands can poison them. The fewer people who know your pain, the fewer mouths can use it. Master your trust, and you stop being easy to access, easy to manipulate, and easy to betray. You become private, strategic, untouchable. Number 5, become difficult to control. Once you master your time, tongue, temper, and trust, something strange begins to happen. People who used to reach you easily start feeling distance. People who used to trigger you start feeling powerless. People who used to predict you start feeling confused. That confusion is your advantage. A predictable man is easy to own. An emotional man is easy to steer. A needy man is easy to buy. But a disciplined man becomes a problem for anyone who depends on weakness. This is the point where you stop being a person they can manage and become a force they must respect. Machiavelli understood that control does not always come through chains. Sometimes control comes through praise, guilt, fear, attention, desire, and obligation. Some people do not shout orders at you. They simply learn your hunger, then feed it when they want obedience. They learn your insecurities, then press them when they want a reaction. They learn your loyalty, then use it to make you accept disrespect. That is why you must become difficult to control. Not cruel, not heartless, controlled. There is a difference. A controlled man does not rush to prove himself. He does not panic when someone ignores him. He does not collapse when love is withdrawn. He does not lose his mind when money is delayed, plans fail, or people change. He studies the situation, protects his dignity, and adjusts his move. This is cold power. It is not about looking dangerous. It is about being unreachable to manipulation. Comment this phrase, "I cannot be controlled." Say it like a law written inside your bones. Because the moment people realize they cannot buy your time, provoke your tongue, ignite your temper, or rush your trust, they begin to treat you differently. Some will respect you. Some will resent you. Both reactions prove you have changed. Do not fear being misunderstood. Fear being too easy to read. Do not fear losing people. Fear keeping people who only stayed because you were useful, soft, available, and silent about your own pain. From today, your emotions must pass through judgment before they become action. Your words must pass through strategy before they leave your mouth. Your loyalty must pass through observation before it becomes sacrifice. Your time must pass through purpose before anyone receives it. This is how you become untouchable. You build inner borders. You stop giving unlimited access. You stop explaining every decision to people who never paid the price for your future. Let them call you distant. Let them call you changed. Let them say you are cold. They are only mourning the version of you they could influence. The new you does not move for applause. The new you does not bend for guilt. The new you does not bleed for people who only appear when they need something. You become calm enough to wait, private enough to protect, disciplined enough to rise, and strong enough to walk away. And when a man can walk away from attention, approval, anger, and betrayal, the world loses its grip on him. That is when power begins to bow quietly before his presence. Number 6. Build a presence that commands respect. There comes a stage in a man's life where he must stop asking to be respected and start becoming impossible to disrespect. Respect is not begged for. It is engineered. It is built through patterns so consistent that people no longer question your seriousness. When you master your time, people learn that your hours are valuable. When you master your tongue, they learn that your words carry weight. When you master your temper, they learn that you cannot be dragged into childish storms. When you master your trust, they learn that access to you is not cheap. Put all of this together, and your presence begins to change. You walk into rooms differently. You listen more than you speak. You no longer laugh at jokes that disrespect you. You no longer over-explain your boundaries. You no longer chase people who hesitate to choose you. This is not arrogance. This is structure. A man without structure becomes whatever the world pushes him to become. A man with structure becomes a standard. Machiavelli understood that appearance matters because people judge power before they understand it. Your posture, your silence, your timing, your discipline, your distance, and your decisions all speak before your mouth opens. If you look scattered, people test you. If you look desperate, people bargain with your dignity. If you look available, people interrupt your mission. But when you carry yourself like a man governed by purpose, even your silence becomes pressure. Comment this phrase: my presence commands respect. Say it because you are not building a louder personality. You are building a heavier presence. The kind of presence that makes unserious people adjust their tone. The kind of presence that makes manipulators think twice. The kind of presence that tells the room without a speech that you are not here to be handled. But understand this clearly: presence is not created by pretending. It is created by evidence. Your body must show discipline. Your schedule must show priority. Your speech must show control. Your eyes must show awareness. Your decisions must show self-respect. If you are lazy in private, your presence will expose you in public. If you are weak when no one is watching, your confidence will sound fake when everyone is listening. So, train in the dark. Build in silence. Correct yourself brutally. Stop making promises to yourself that you break by nightfall. Every broken promise weakens your spirit. Every kept promise sharpens your authority. You cannot command respect from others while betraying yourself daily. That is the hidden war. Before people bow to your presence, your impulses must bow to your will. Your laziness must bow. Your need for approval must bow. Your hunger for attention must bow. Your anger must bow. Your fear must bow. Only then do others feel the weight of your inner kingdom. Dark psychology knows that people subconsciously measure your permission to disrespect you. They watch how quickly you forgive without change. They watch how often you return after being ignored. They watch how much disrespect you tolerate just to keep connection. And every time you accept less than your standard, you teach them the price of controlling you. Raise the price. Withdraw from disrespect without drama. Reward loyalty with access. Punish betrayal with distance. Stop arguing with people who benefit from misunderstanding you. Stop performing warmth for those who survive by draining it. Become polite but firm, calm but immovable, private but powerful. Let your life become the proof that you are not the same man they once handled. When your presence becomes disciplined, people begin to bow in subtle ways. They lower their voice. They respect your silence. They fear your absence. They feel your standards before you announce them. And that is when you know you are becoming untouchable. Quiet authority announces itself before your name is spoken anywhere. Number 7, turn discipline into silent power. Discipline is not the exciting part of power, but it is the foundation every powerful man stands on. Without discipline, your ambition is just noise. Your dreams become speeches. Your plans become fantasies. Your confidence becomes decoration over weakness. Understand this clearly. The world does not bow to potential. It bows to proof. And proof is built through repeated discipline when nobody is clapping, nobody is watching, and nobody cares whether you rise or collapse. This is where most men fail. They want the crown, but not the weight. They want respect, but not the routine. They want power, but not the lonely hours that create it. Machiavelli would tell you that fortune favors the prepared man, not the emotional man. You cannot wait for motivation to save you. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a soldier. Motivation appears when life feels easy. Discipline stays when your body is tired, your mind is heavy, your friends are distracted, and your old habits are begging you to return. That is why discipline is silent power. It does not announce itself. It accumulates. One controlled morning, one ignored temptation, one finished task, one workout completed, one promise kept, one distraction refused. Slowly, the weak version of you begins to die from starvation because you no longer feed him excuses. Comment this phrase: my discipline is my power. Say it because discipline is how you become someone people cannot recognize, cannot predict, and cannot compete with. While others are wasting their time in emotional chaos, you are building structure. While they are talking about what they will do, you are doing what they fear. While they are chasing comfort, you are making discomfort obey you. This is the transformation. You stop negotiating with laziness. You stop treating your mood like a king. You stop letting tiredness make decisions for your future. A dangerous man does not need to feel ready. He acts because the mission demands it. He does not ask his feelings for permission. He commands them to stand aside. Dark psychology understands that people are easiest to control when they are ruled by comfort. Give a weak man pleasure, and he forgets his purpose. Give him praise, and he forgets his standards. Give him distraction, and he forgets his pain. But give a disciplined man temptation, and he studies it. Give him pressure, and he hardens. Give him isolation, and he builds. That is why discipline makes you feared in a quiet way. Not because you harm people, but because you become difficult to weaken. You do not need constant encouragement. You do not need public attention. You do not need everyone to understand your process. You become self-propelled. You become internally governed. You become the kind of man who keeps moving even when nobody believes in him. And when a man keeps moving long enough, disbelief turns into silence. Silence turns into attention. Attention turns into respect. Respect turns into submission. That is how everyone begins to bow. Not because you demanded it, but because your consistency made denial impossible. So build your discipline like a hidden empire. Wake up before your excuses gather strength. Train your body before comfort seduces it. Sharpen your mind before the world fills it with noise. Protect your focus before people try to rent your attention. Finish what you start, even when the excitement is gone. Especially when the excitement is gone. That is where the real man is created. Anyone can begin when energy is high. Few can continue when results are slow. Few can remain loyal to a vision that has not rewarded them yet. Be one of the few. Let your discipline become so consistent that people feel your difference before they understand it. Let your silence carry the weight of private victories. Let your calm come from knowing you have conquered yourself in places they never saw. Because the man who defeats himself daily becomes impossible for the world to defeat publicly. Master discipline, and your life stops being a reaction. It becomes a command. Number 8. Make your absence more powerful than your presence. A man becomes truly powerful when his absence starts speaking louder than his presence. When you are always around, always replying, always available, always explaining, people slowly stop feeling the weight of you. They get used to your energy. They get comfortable with your forgiveness. They begin to treat your presence like furniture, something always there, something they can ignore until they need it. That is how value dies. Not because you are worthless, but because you became too accessible. Machiavelli understood that distance creates authority. A ruler who sits among the crowd every hour becomes ordinary. A ruler who appears with timing becomes memorable. This does not mean you must disappear to manipulate people. It means you must stop giving unlimited access to a life you are trying to make powerful. Your absence is not punishment. It is protection. It is the wall around your focus. It is the proof that your world does not collapse when someone loses interest, withholds attention, or tries to make you chase. Most men panic when people pull away. They text more, explain more, beg more, perform more. And in that performance, they expose their weakness. A controlled man does the opposite. When energy changes, he observes. When respect decreases, he withdraws. When loyalty becomes uncertain, he creates space. He does not announce his distance. He does not make speeches about being hurt. He simply moves his time, tongue, temper, and trust back under his own command. Comment this phrase: "My absence has power." Say it because you must learn the art of being missed, not merely seen. People do not respect what is endlessly available. They respect what has standards, direction, and the ability to leave. The ability to leave is one of the greatest forms of power a man can possess. Leave conversations that drain you. Leave rooms that shrink you. Leave people who only value you when you are useful. Leave habits that keep you weak. Leave the version of yourself that kept returning to places where your dignity was discounted. Do it quietly. Do it cleanly. Do it without begging the world to understand. Dark psychology teaches that people often test your attachment to measure how badly they can treat you. They delay replies to see if you panic. They insult you softly to see if you accept it. They take your kindness for granted to see if your boundaries are decorative. They disrespect your time to see if you have any price. Your withdrawal is the answer. Not rage, not revenge. Withdrawal. When you pull your energy away from what weakens you, you send a message deeper than words. Access to me is conditional. Respect is required. Loyalty is noticed. Disrespect is remembered. A man who cannot withdraw cannot negotiate. He is trapped by his need. He may call it love, loyalty, friendship, patience, or forgiveness. But if he cannot leave what dishonors him, he is not loyal. He is captured. Do not be captured. Build a life so rich in purpose that losing one person's approval does not bankrupt your spirit. Build discipline so strong that silence from others does not shake your identity. Build self-respect so deep that you do not need to punish people. You simply remove yourself from their reach. Then, watch how the atmosphere changes. Some people will call you cold because they can no longer warm their hands on your energy. Some will call you arrogant because you stopped lowering yourself to keep them comfortable. Some will return with softer voices because your absence taught them what your presence was worth. And some will vanish completely, proving they only loved your availability, not your soul. Let them go. A king does not chase citizens who abandon the kingdom. He strengthens the walls, guards the gates, and keeps building. Master your absence, and your presence becomes rare. Master your presence, and your respect becomes heavy. Master your respect, and people begin to bow without being asked. Number 9, let results become your revenge. There is a point where you must stop explaining your pain and start converting it into results, not noise, not complaints, not dramatic speeches about who betrayed you, who underestimated you, who ignored you, or who failed to see your worth. Results. That is the only language the world respects when words become useless. Machiavelli would never tell a man to waste his strongest energy begging blind people to recognize his value. He would tell him to build so brutally that recognition becomes unavoidable. That is the coldest revenge. Not destroying others, not chasing payback, not poisoning your mind with hatred. The coldest revenge is becoming so disciplined, so controlled, so private, so successful, and so unshakable that the people who once dismissed you are forced to meet a version of you they no longer have access to. Understand this clearly. Your pain is not special until you make it productive. Everyone has been betrayed. Everyone has been doubted. Everyone has been embarrassed. Everyone has had moments where they felt invisible, replaceable, disrespected, or forgotten. The difference is what a man does after the wound. A weak man turns pain into bitterness. A dangerous man turns pain into structure. He uses humiliation as fuel. He uses rejection as silence. He uses betrayal as education. He uses disrespect as a line in the sand. He stops asking, "Why did they do this to me?" and starts asking, "What version of me allowed this, tolerated this, or stayed too long near this?" That question is painful, but that question creates power. Comment this phrase, "My results will speak." Say it because your next level does not need a speech. It needs execution. Every time you want to argue, work. Every time you want to post your emotions, train. Every time you want to prove your loyalty to people who doubted you, prove your standards to yourself. Every time you want revenge, upgrade. That is how you become terrifying in a quiet way. People expect you to break. They expect you to chase closure. They expect you to expose your anger. They expect you to stay the same because the old version of you made them comfortable. Surprise them with discipline. Surprise them with distance. Surprise them with silence. Surprise them with a life that makes their old opinion look foolish. Dark psychology understands that people who underestimate you often depend on your stagnation. Your weakness protects their ego. Your confusion makes them feel superior. Your availability makes them feel powerful. Your self-doubt gives them a place to stand above you. So remove the platform. Become better in areas they cannot fake. Build your mind. Build your body. Build your money. Build your skill. Build your emotional control. Build your circle slowly. Build your future privately. Do not announce the blueprint. Do not invite spectators into construction. Do not seek applause while the foundation is still wet. Work until your results become so visible that even your silence feels like a statement. And when they return, because some of them will return, do not become drunk on the moment. Do not reopen doors simply because someone finally noticed the value they once ignored. A delayed compliment is not always loyalty. Sometimes it is only hunger returning after the table became full. Remember who clapped when you had nothing. Remember who disappeared when you needed strength. Remember who mocked your discipline before it produced rewards. Results should make you wiser, not softer. Success must not make you forget the lessons that pain carved into you. The new you must be calm enough to forgive, but sharp enough not to forget patterns. Let them watch from a distance. Let them wonder how you changed. Let them speak your name with a tone they never used before. But do not stop. The mission is bigger than their reaction. The throne is bigger than revenge. Master your time, tongue, temper, and trust so completely that your entire existence becomes evidence of self-command. Then results will do what your explanations never could. They will silence doubt. They will expose envy. They will attract respect. They will force the world to bow without you asking once. Number 10. Become the man they cannot move. In the end, power is not about making noise. It is about becoming immovable. A man who masters his time cannot be wasted. A man who masters his tongue cannot be exposed. A man who masters his temper cannot be provoked. A man who masters his trust cannot be betrayed easily. Put these four together, and you become a fortress wearing human skin. You stop living like a reaction to everyone else's behavior. You stop allowing messages, moods, rumors, opinions, delays, disrespect, and disappointment to decide who you become. You choose. That is the final crown. Choice. The weak man is pushed by the world. The powerful man is directed by his own command. Machiavelli would tell you that every empire falls when the ruler loses control inside the palace. Your palace is your mind. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life will be chaotic. If your emotions are unguarded, your decisions will be cheap. If your attention is for sale, your future will be rented by people who do not care about your destiny. So become the ruler of the inner palace. Guard the gates. Decide what enters. Decide who stays. Decide what deserves your voice, your anger, your loyalty, and your hours. Comment this phrase, I am the ruler of myself. Say it because that is where every form of dominance begins. Not over others, over yourself. The man who cannot rule himself will always search for power outside, and the world will laugh at him quietly. But the man who rules himself begins to carry a different energy. He does not need to threaten. He does not need to impress. He does not need to chase. He simply moves with standards so clear that people adjust or disappear. Let them disappear. You were not born to be surrounded. You were born to be sharpened. Some people are not losses. They are distractions removed by destiny. Some rejections are not failures. They are doors closing before weakness enters your future. Some betrayals are not the end. They are lessons delivered by people who were never meant to stay. Learn, but do not collapse. Feel, but do not surrender. Care, but do not become careless with yourself. This is masculine stoicism with cold power. The ability to remain human without becoming fragile, kind without becoming exploitable, loyal without becoming blind, and ambitious without becoming loud. From this moment, build your life like a throne room. Your time is the throne. Your tongue is the sword. Your temper is the shield. Your trust is the gate. If the throne is unguarded, thieves will sit on it. If the sword is uncontrolled, it will wound you. If the shield is weak, every insult will pierce you. If the gate is open, betrayal will walk in smiling. Guard all four, master all four. Then watch how your world changes. People will not always admit your growth, but they will feel it. They will feel it when you stop answering chaos. They will feel it when you stop defending your silence. They will feel it when you no longer return to disrespect. They will feel it when your results become too loud to ignore. And when they bow, do not become arrogant. Stay disciplined. Stay private. Stay calm. A crown becomes heavy when a fool wears it. Wear yours with control.
And that was Psychopathy. Back in a minute. Thank you. This is Ron, your host, the only true conservative in the United States today, bidding adios to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there, and reminding you that you're not neutral and that the government has no rights.